Though it took no little amount of convincing by Holmes, the front-of-house staff at the Theatre Royal in Drury Lane were persuaded to allow us to enter the building 15 minutes before the doors were opened to the public at large. Holmes moved around the periphery of the lobby, though what he was searching for I had no idea, and then strode in the direction of the auditorium, sweeping past the unfortunate fellow whose task it was to check tickets and who had not been alerted to our early presence. I proffered our tickets and reassured the man that all was well, then hurried after my friend. I had spent evenings at this very theatre on many occasions, but I'd never seen it in want of an audience. When I had ascended the stairs and entered the auditorium by a door to the upper circle, I was immediately gripped by a sense of vertigo that I had never experienced before, which seemed inspired as much by the emptiness of the vast space as my altitude above the stalls and stage. The giant lamps that hung from the ceiling were all lit, and in the absence of human bodies, this light turned every part of the auditorium, seats, panelling, gilt decoration and all, a bright and somewhat sickly amber colour. I gathered my wits and cast around for any sign of Holmes. Then, realizing that I held the clue in my own hand, checked our tickets to determine which box was ours. It was the rightmost of the row, and sure enough, I found Holmes within it, standing in its direct centre, his arms folded and regarding the part of the stage visible in front of the lowered curtain in a fixed manner, as if it were an enemy fortification that he intended to capture. "Rather a good view, isn't it?" I said, peering over the low wall of the box. "Do you mean a good view of the stage, or a good view of us sitting within this cage?" Holmes retorted. "The former," I replied. Then I added, "Are you suggesting that we may be attacked from without?" Holmes shook his head. "It is only clear that somebody wishes me to be installed here this evening. I do not fear an attack." "That doesn't quite answer my question, Holmes. When you say you do not fear an attack, do you mean that you think there will be no attack, or simply that you are not fearful?" Holmes behaved as if he had not heard me.